Are you serious? Are you serious? Hey guys, great to see everybody. Good morning, everyone. We are going to be doing a live broadcast, a regular show at 12 noon Eastern here from the studio here in the Villages in Florida. We've got some breaking news I'm going to get to you right now. First of all, I want you to know I did just put up another video on the app that has to do with the tornadoes that hit the Midwest. Okay, so you want to check that out, about a 2-minute video. Also, I did one yesterday. It was very phenomenal, okay, on the 10 Kings of Revelation, about a 15-minute video exclusively over there at the app. Now, what I would like to say now is this is incredible, but we have information. The Russians were definitely only 35 miles off the coast of Hawaii, and they engaged in war games. I'll show you what they did. They actually sunk a ship that close to the United States shores. This is insane. United States scrambled some fighter jets. They sent aircraft carriers over there. Let me tell you what's going on. First of all, I'll put a shout out right now, if I could, for www.agewithpaul.com. That's right, www.agewithpaul.com. Ancient cultures often had knowledge and subjects thousands of years ago that we're just now discovering today. One of those subjects is this youth-like benefits associated with turmeric. What? Today, there's over 5,000 peer reviews and studies that confirm that turmeric as an anti-aging powerhouse ingredient. I'm all into this anti-aging thing. Matter of fact, the problem, however, is that turmeric found on store shelves has harmful ingredients and chemicals that can be actually added and in its fillers. It's not good. Don't buy it. Here's what I want you to do. This is why I highly recommend agewithpaul.com. That's www.agewithpaul.com. BioTrust has come up with this awesome ageless body. They have sold over 1.5 million bottles of this, and it's incredible the results people are getting. Unbelievable. I mean, I'm getting emails from people now who are getting this and saying, Paul, thank you for introducing this to me. Including myself, we've experienced a more youthful appearance. You notice I'm more youthful. I'm better mental clarity, relief from some of that aching pains. It's an amazing turmeric, and this one's 46 times more absorbent into the body. Go right now to www.agewithpaul.com, www.agewithpaul.com. And you'll be glad you did, okay? Now, let me tell you what's happening here, because every time I turn around, there's another issue as it relates to what are we going to do about the Russians. The Russians are coming. The Russians are here. The Russians are everywhere. In reality, Russia is getting more aggressive in their military expansionism. If you take a look at how they took over Crimea in 2014, how they've had the troops, 100,000 plus troops sitting on the borders of Ukraine, how they've engaged with the little green men in Ukraine, how they constantly in conflict there. They're very, very protective of the Black Sea, and how they keep buzzing U.S. ships or U.S. planes or flying over Alaska or whatever. Now they've moved into the area of where Hawaii is. 35 miles, folks. What? 35 miles off the coast of Hawaii. Russia decides to set up and start having a war games. Russian fleet, 35 miles off of Hawaii, practicing sinking an aircraft carrier as the U.S. Navy strike groups had to move into the area. Even scrambling F-22 stealth fighters out of Pearl Harbor are placed on standby. Even more support. Russian forces are currently carrying out the largest war games since the Cold War right off the coast of the United States of Hawaii. 20 Russian warships, submarines, support vessels, flanked by 20 fighter jets from the Russian Air Force are all taking part in this exercise. Twice the United States has been forced to scramble our F-22 fighter jets to see what's happening because they're too close to the shore. And on June 17th, the U.S. Navy admitted a carrier strike group had moved into the area. Matter of fact, the Pentagon is watching Russian maneuvers extremely carefully. Why? You say why? Because they could fire Tomahawk missiles or other precision strike cruise missiles and hit Hawaii. They're only 35 miles away. And what about that super hypersonic missile? What could it do? I mean, you can't have the Russians with 20 ships that close to the American coast. Matter of fact, they've come after Joe Biden, and Vladimir Putin met in Geneva. So these guys met, and as soon as that meeting was over, Putin sent these people in, sent these ships in, these planes in, these submarines, the helicopters, troops, all kinds of sailors right off the coast of Hawaii to just like to say, all right, now that Biden's gone, let's get back to what we want to do, and let's turn up the heat. Let's turn up the aggressiveness of the maneuvers. And get this, both men admitted that the relationships between the countries are at an all-time low. And they both agreed not to be friends and try not to be enemies. But at least 20 Russian warships, submarines, support vessels, flanked by 20 fighter jets, all taking part in an exercise in the biggest since the Cold War, 35 miles off the coast of Hawaii. Russia says, look, we're 300 miles from Hawaii. Yet satellite images on June 19th showed that they were 35 miles off the coast of Hawaii. Okay. So again, this is getting very intense. Both sides now starting to get the location corresponded broadly within reports from the United States media channels that Russian warships were conducting maneuvers near the Hawaiian Islands. And twice this month, June 14th and again June 17th, the United States had to scramble F-22 fighter jets from Hawaii in response to the Russian bomber flights. Neither time did the bombers enter U.S. airspace, but they got extremely close, right on the edges of the perimeter. And so they were not intercepted, but we did scramble fighter jets in case they come over. On June 17th, the Navy admitted that the United States Carl Vinson and her strike group were operating near Hawaii without revealing where, when they arrived, or why they went there. But on June 18th, the spokesman for the ship tweeted a photo of the Vinson transits with the USS Dewey in the Hawaiian Islands, operating in that area. Carl Vinson ship is participating in integrated ops with the U.S. Army, Marine Corps, Air Force, and Coast Guard. Yeah, they're in some kind of a training exercise that they just came up with at the last second. Guys, they're there because of the Russians. You have to make sure. The Russians say it's just a drill, but what if that drill turns into an engagement? You just can't. And what if that's phase one of 10 more phases in different locations? Okay. And it could be a diversion tactic. You say, Paul, you're getting extreme here. There's none of that happening. I'm just telling you, that's how things happen. Remember, the Japanese bombed Pearl Harbor with their ambassador having tea in the White House with Franklin Delano Roosevelt. And while they were sitting there having a brunch together, the Japanese ambassador, Pearl Harbor was being bombed by the Japanese. You have to understand how these tactical situations develop. We don't need all this testosterone that's starting to flow, especially from the Chinese and the Russians. And they seem to be doing this more and more. And I think they sense weakness when it relates to President Joe Biden. I think they totally sense weakness in this current administration between Biden and Harris. So, obviously we got great generals and people in position. You gotta wonder just how much that President Trump is still engaged, maybe with some of these military people. You just wonder sometimes. But we're going to keep an eye on all of this because I think we're living in dangerous times now, and it's something that we've all. You know what? That light should have been on. Why isn't that light on now? Hang on a second. I wonder why this is looking so dark. That's a little better. But it's just we're getting in a dangerous spot here now where we've got to stay on top of things. Okay. I've got a great broadcast coming up for you at 12 noon. I'll be back with more information. We've got a ton of stuff breaking loose now around the world. And so I'll be back at 12 noon Eastern. I'll probably be back before that because I've got another story I want to share with you individually. And then we will get ready for the full show at 12 noon. God bless all of you. I love you guys. I just did a video on the app. Check it out. It's called Tornadoes in the Midwest. Just posted over at the New Apocalypse Watch. And yesterday I posted a great video, 15 minutes of presentation, wonderfully edited, and on the 10 Kings of Revelation. It's the part 1. I'm going to slowly put that series up there because it's actually the full presentation is over at Steve Quayle's conference he had a couple weeks ago, the Extinction Protocol. If you want to watch the entire hour presentation I did and find out who I think could be the 10 kings of the book of Revelation. But in this one I put on my app, it's the first 3 kings. And I think you'll find it very fascinating how Bible prophecy is really moving now very quickly. God bless all you guys. I love all you guys. You're an amazing online church. I'll be back in a few minutes with another live broadcast, another live information. I'll be back in just a few minutes. Don't forget, we'll be live at noon with our full show. Are you serious? Are you serious? What? Are you serious? The Russians, Vladimir Putin, boot scootin' Putin, 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 good spoon, boot scootin' Putin, Putin.